The Debbie Wasserman Schultz scandal. It's now attracting the attention of the White House, so much so that the Trump administration is calling for a thorough investigation related to the arrest of the Congresswoman's IT staffer. Why? Because he was arrested this week on bank fraud charges while trying to flee the country. How nice. Now, we are also learning that this IT staffer, Imran Awan from Pakistan, actually remained on the job with congressional computer access for about 5 months after the FBI began investigating him. Now, this scandal has all the elements of a great crime mystery drama: threats, smashed hard drives, a seized laptop, obstruction of justice, mystery men, etc. So, who is this guy? And what exactly is going on? Joining me now from the founder of the American Truth Project and Daily Ledger contributor, Barry Nussbaum. Barry, there's a lot to unpack here. I mean, we'd probably need days to just sort through all of this information, but we only have a few minutes, so we got to get through this. First of all, let's start with Imran Awan. Apparently, he's been working for Schultz since 2005. What else do we know about him?
Well, he's a Pakistani. He's a computer genius. He brought in his 2 brothers, his wife, and another friend. They've been running IT for at least 5 congressmen, all Democrats, all very liberal Democrats. And get this, Stephanie, he had full access to everything in all electronics of Debbie Wasserman Schultz's computers and phones while she was DNC chair. So this guy could backdoor into a tremendous amount of personal information on congressmen and their staffs all over Congressional Hill.
And how did we get to this point? It looks like he committed some sort of fraud, and then police started looking into him, and then they seized his laptop, and then there was some other information that he had left a house, and there was like tons of illegal hard drive or things that he shouldn't have had there that had to do with like a congressman's computer. Like I'm saying, there's so much there. So how did he actually get the attention of the Capitol Police?
Well, what's really interesting, and I really advise your viewers to check this out. A number of months ago, the Capitol Police seized a computer belonging to him, and Debbie Wasserman Schultz went public and said, "Give it back." And the head of the Capitol Police said, "No, it's a criminal investigation. We're looking into this guy." And she had a cow. She was threatening to cut off the budget for the Capitol Police and their investigation if they didn't stop investigating her head of IT. So she called the attention to this guy's crimes. And lo and behold, as you said, they went to his house. They seized computer equipment. There were a whole bunch of hard drives smashed with hammers. Hey, that sounds a little familiar in Democratic politics, doesn't it? And then it started to unwind.
Well, in the situation where you were talking about Debbie Wasserman Schultz threatening a police chief, we actually have the video of it. Roll tape.
Under my understanding, the Capitol Police is not able to confiscate members' equipment when the member is not under investigation. It is their equipment, and it's supposed to be returned.
Well, I think there's extenuating circumstances in this case, and I think that working through my counsel and the necessary personnel, if that in fact is the case, and with the permission of through the investigation, then we'll return the equipment. But until that's accomplished, I can't return the equipment.
I think you're violating the rules when you conduct your business that way, and should expect that there would be consequences.
There's going to be consequences, Barry. Like what type of consequences?
Well, she actually had elicited some sort of response that she was going to cut off their budget. God bless that cop for having a backbone and standing up to one of the most powerful Democrats in the Congress. Don't forget, up till her getting booted at the DNC last summer, she was the head. She was the chairwoman of the Democrat Party in America. She was an incredibly powerful congresswoman and still is. They threw her out then for abuse of power. The Democrats turned on her and forced her out. And so she thought she still had that same kind of pull with the cops. God bless that guy for saying no to her and they've uncovered what could be an enormous spy ring. The rumor going around Capitol Hill, Stephanie, is the reason why this isn't in the media and none of the members are talking about it is there could be a massive leak of confidential information out of at least 5 congressional offices by Pakistani nationals who may be right now being blackmailed. That's why everybody went dark. Nobody's talking to the press. Meanwhile, these guys got paid millions for running the computers.
So you mentioned that they were making millions, but see, this Imran, I'm sorry, I'm saying his name. Imran Iwan, he's only supposed to make $160,000 a year. Like, there's rules for this. So somehow they all made like $4 million, and they weren't supposed to make this type of money. So they were having, like, you know, they wrote down family members saying that they were working as IT staffers as well, and that's just not true. So, you know, there's more corruption right there. And then you're talking about this spy ring. Well, some people are wondering if this maybe played a role in the raid in Yemen. Al-Qaeda was tipped off. I mean, there was very, very private, very confidential information. He had the passwords to all the iPads and laptops and all of this stuff. And then you have to wonder why Wasserman Schultz is fighting so hard for these computers back and the hard drives and laptops. It's because there's probably a lot in there that would maybe affect her. And then you also have to link, the big picture is here. This guy had the passwords to the DNC. You know, the whole scandal that Russia's blamed for. When maybe it was this guy, you know, a lot of people were suggesting maybe it was Seth Rich, you know, the man who was murdered, the DNC staffer who was murdered on the street in D.C. about a year ago. But there's a lot of people, it turns out, had access to this type of information and could have been the leakers. And again, and I think that's why it's not being talked about.
Well, it's not only that, but you go to the other side. If all these congressmen and Wasserman Schultz were clean, they would say, hey, come in and look at our computers. Come in and see all of our emails. It's the opposite. Not one of them will talk to the press. And now the Capitol Police is showing up at their offices. And right now there is no cooperation going on. This could have been the back door to all the information coming out of the Democrat Party at the time of the convention. There's all kinds of stuff we don't know yet, but trust me, it's coming and it's big news.
And here's the kicker, Barry. A lawyer from the Clinton Foundation is now representing him, and he released a statement saying that people started investigating the Iwan brothers because they're bigots and they have Islamophobia, and that's why people care. Oh, and it's also right-wingers and the Pizzagate people that are pushing this. But when you look at all this information, this is a real scandal happening. And, you know, we're going to find out a lot more. Obviously, there's so much cover-up. There's a blackout on the media. But we need to keep an eye on this because I think there's so much there. Thank you for your time, Barry.